It is said that cannibals eat human flesh to stay alive. But what if human meat becomes so popular that even common people start eating it with satisfaction? Something similar happens in this meat shop in France. Hundreds of people gather outside a simple meat shop. The owner of this shop sells a special kind of meat which is so delicious that people are ready to pay any amount for it. Days passed by, but the crowd did not decrease, nor did the popularity of that meat. The taste of the meat was such that whoever tasted it could never forget it. One day, a customer asked the shop owner Vincent whose meat it was. Vincent lied to him, saying it was Iranian meat. On hearing this answer, the news spread like wildfire in the streets around the shop. Now people became more curious. Couple who, till yesterday, used to struggle to keep their shops open, started earning in thousands. But this was not always the case. A few weeks ago, even flies would not come to Vincent's shop. But the truth was that hardly any customer came to his shop. Vincent used to massage the meat well before selling it. He believed that this enhanced the taste of the meat, but his customers found it nothing but a joke. That day, activists attacked his shop, threw animal blood on Sophie, and beat Vincent badly. There are some people who hate meat eaters and meat sellers. Such people are called vegans. These vegan activists often attacked Vincent's shop, vandalizing it and causing it to sink deeper into debt. One day, Vincent and Sophie went to the house of their friends Mark and Stephanie. Like Vincent, Mark was also in the meat business, but his condition was not like Vincent's. He had a shop that was doing very well. When Mark found out that Vincent's shop had been attacked by a vegan activist, he gifted him a rifle and told him to keep it with him until he increased the security of his shop. Next time, those activists will think 10 times before attacking, Mark said. Due to a lack of money, the distance between Sophie and Vincent was increasing, so much so that Sophie even asked him for a divorce. Meanwhile, Vincent spotted a vegan activist who had attacked his shop. To teach him a lesson, Vincent tried to knock him down by hitting him, but as he put his car in reverse, the activist accidentally got crushed under his car and died. Vincent was about to call the police for help, but Sophie stopped him from doing so because they had committed a murder and no one would believe them. Sophie got the idea of cutting the body into pieces and throwing them in separate places. She had learned this from a serial killer, but Vincent stopped her from doing so. They brought the corpse to their shop, and Vincent cut the body into small pieces to dispose of it. In the meantime, one ear got cut off and fell down, which their dog immediately ate. After grinding and cutting the meat for hours, Vincent fell asleep. The next morning, he woke up late, but when he looked at the table, he got very worried. Before he could think of anything else, a customer came to the shop and asked him for the same meat she had bought a while ago. It was revealed that Sophie had mistakenly sold her human meat instead of pork. The woman liked it very much. Vincent tried to stop her from buying the meat, but the woman was unable to forget its taste, unaware of the fact that it was human meat. Sophie also started to argue with Vincent to sell it to her, after which Vincent was forced to sell it. To hide the truth behind its unique taste, Vincent lied, saying it was made from Iranian pork, which very few people in the world could prepare. After the customer left, Vincent told Sophie that they had just sold human meat. Sophie did not find it strange. In fact, she thought it was good. Vincent thought he had lost his mind and went to throw away the meat. But then another man came and also wanted the same Iranian meat the woman had taken some time ago. Gradually, that dead body became famous as Iranian meat, and both of them earned a lot of money by selling it. Still, Vincent didn't understand what it was that people liked so much. One night, he tried it himself and realized it was the best meat of his life. Sophie said that the person they killed was a vegan. Since vegans don't eat meat or animal products, maybe that's why his meat was so tasty. She suggested killing more vegans and selling their meat in their shop, as people were liking it, and they could earn a lot of money. The next day, their daughter Chloe brought her boyfriend Lucas to meet them. Vincent had been eagerly waiting for that day. He had cooked delicious food, but as soon as he served it to Lucas, Lucas refused to eat it as he was a vegan. Following his example, Chloe also refused to eat the food, and they both left the place. Vincent was enraged. He realized that Sophie was right. These vegans should be eliminated from the world. That night, Vincent and Sophie went to a vegan restaurant and chose the owner as their next target. The plan was simple. They had to kill him, grind his meat, and sell it. Vincent chased him with a meat-cutting knife, but just as he was about to attack, his body trembled with fear, and he ran away without killing him. The next day, they pretended to be vegans in front of vegan activists. They were looking for the weakest victim among the crowd. They met many people throughout the day, but then they met a thin man. Sophie got her target and called the man to the working area on the pretext of talking to him. As per their plan, they went to a different area to kill him. They started thinking about different ways, but their plan got ruined once again when they saw that the thin man had come with his friends. Vincent quickly hid his knife and started to leave, but the people stopped them and said, "Today, we are going to attack a meat shop. You should join us." For fear of getting caught, the two had to go with them, and soon they found out that the shop they had come to vandalize belonged to their friend Mark. To harm his business, they vandalized his shop and destroyed everything. By doing this, Vincent felt relieved because now he was not the only one who had suffered a loss. As they thought more about their plan, things started getting more complicated. Soon, they stopped agreeing with each other and started arguing. Things got so out of hand that Vincent left Sophie alone. After being left alone, a boy tried to flirt with Sophie. He talked to her, and Sophie soon got impressed by him. Everything was going well between the two until Sophie found out that the boy was a vegan. He dropped her at her home, and on the pretext of kissing him, Sophie bit his lips, causing bleeding. Sophie asked him to follow her inside the house, telling Vincent that they had found their prey. All Vincent had to do now was kill him, but once again, his hands started shaking, and he refused to do so. Sophie said, "If you don't kill him, I will sleep with him tonight." But even after hearing this, Vincent did not have the courage. He thought it was just to provoke him, but Sophie actually went to get intimate with the boy. Seeing this, Vincent's blood boiled, and he jumped on the boy, killing him brutally. The next day, Sophie got a call from Stephanie. Both of them immediately went to Mark's shop, where Stephanie was crying and telling them about the situation of her shop. Vincent alone had caused so much damage to her shop that all the vegan activists combined could not have done, but they pretended as if they had no idea. There was a policeman there who wanted to talk to Vincent in private. Vincent got very scared, but it was not as he had thought. The policeman did not know anything about the real matter, and Vincent breathed a sigh of relief. That day, they sold human meat to many customers, and there was a long line to buy it. All the meat got sold out in a few minutes. After this, whenever they needed meat, they went out hunting, and in this way, they killed people in the streets. Their business was booming, and Vincent increased the price of meat, but still, the crowd of people did not stop. It seemed as if everything was fine. One day, Mark also took a bite of that meat and, as expected, became obsessed with it. But while chewing, something got stuck in his teeth. Stephanie, who used to be a nurse, recognized that it was a pacemaker, which is fitted into heart patients. Vincent remembered that one of his victims had died of a heart attack while running, and he had forgotten to remove the pacemaker. Stephanie questioned him about it, and as the two friends became increasingly competitive, an enraged Vincent chewed off Mark's ear. That day, their fake friendship broke, but this was going to cost Vincent dearly in the future. The next day, Vincent went to a vegan festival. He had become a psychopath by eating human flesh and thought about meat all day long. That day, his eyes fell on a child, and he even thought of killing and eating the child. He somehow controlled himself and started feeling disgusted with himself. He started to leave the festival when he met Lucas. Lucas collided with a butcher shop owner who was a little surprised to see him at the vegan festival. Lucas started talking about the murders of vegans. The deaths of vegans had become so common in the city that Lucas started to think that the butcher shops were behind these deaths. Vincent argued with Lucas, saying, "What do you think? That we are the ones who do all the wrong things?" A man was sitting there, listening to their conversation. He was the same man with whom Vincent had broken into Mark's shop. He got very angry when he found out that Vincent had pretended to be a vegan. That same night, Vincent was grinding meat when someone knocked on his door. Vincent saw that it was a policeman, but was afraid to let him in. He tried to divert his attention, but then he saw his dog coming towards the door with a human hand in its mouth. Vincent chased the dog away, and that night, he narrowly escaped getting caught. Vincent told Sophie that all the butchers in the city were on the police's suspect list, but Sophie had no fear of getting caught because they had cut and sold everything. With no evidence, the police couldn't investigate. While they were talking, Lucas arrived. He was deeply embarrassed about his bad behavior at the festival and revealed that he was stressed about his vegan friend's disappearance. Sophie, no longer fearing anyone, asked Lucas to be their next victim. Vincent realized that Sophie was a bigger psychopath than him and asked Lucas to leave. The next day, without asking Sophie, Vincent told the customers in the shop that they had stopped selling Iranian meat. Hearing this, some of his customers got very angry because they had been waiting in line for hours. Soon, the whole shop got empty, and seeing this, Sophie started shouting at Vincent, asking why he had said that. Vincent did not think it right to talk to her and left the shop without telling her anything. After Vincent left, vegan activists came to the shop. They wanted to take revenge on Vincent for the harm he had caused, so they caught Sophie and beat her badly. These were literally goons in the guise of activists. When Vincent returned, he saw the chaos and immediately went inside the shop. He found that the goons were about to kill his wife. Without wasting any time, Vincent attacked and killed two of them instantly, but one of them hung Vincent on a meat hook and was about to kill him when, at the right moment, Sophie killed the goon by stabbing him in the eye with another sharp hook. At the end of the movie, we see that Sophie and Vincent are soon caught by Mark and Stephanie, who were the first to report their strange behavior to the police. This later proved to be crucial evidence against them. Vincent and Sophie had committed a total of 30 murders, for which they were sentenced to death. The movie ends here.